wabarakatuh. Good morning. Welcome at the SORES International Conference 2020 organized by LPPM Unisba. Let me introduce myself. My name is InaHelena Agustina. Today, I will be presenting my research titled Gender-Based Disaster Preparedness Innovation Study. Research team member are InaHelena Agustina, Atie Rachmiatie, Astri Mutia Ekasari, Verry Damayanti, and Riswandha Risang Atie. My presentations will be divided into 4 parts. The first, introduction, the second, methods, the third, result and discussion, and the last session, conclusion. Introductions. Indonesia is a country with possibilities for natural disaster, one of which is earthquakes. Cikole Village, located in Lembang District, West Bandung Regency, West Java Province, Indonesia, has a high potential for earthquakes because it is traversed by the Lembang Fault. You can see the Lembang Fault, the right pictures my presentation. So, my locations is, the red color is the location of the study. So, see the picture to the right, the orange line is the direction of the Lembang Fault, which has the potential for earthquakes. Yeah. Research on disaster in Cikole Village have been conducted during the 2019 until 2020 time period. The results show that the role of women in Cikole Village was very dominant in disaster affairs, especially from the knowledge and skill of utilization information on applications. My methods, data collection, data were collected with a survey in February 2020, 1 day. Survey was conducted within 1 day from 7 until 16 o'clock. The technique is that the collection of women is determined from the community of women who are active in Family Welfare Education Organisational or PKK, and men from the Karang Taruna community and the head of Rukun Warga. They are gathered in the village hall room. The total number respondent collected was 20 women and 20 men. And so data analysis was carried out from the result of focus group discussion of FGD, the result of each group in disaster preparedness, and the use of information tools for disaster preparedness. Then the analysis is carried out by describing, interpreting, and comparing the result of their knowledge with existing reference, especially disaster preparedness. So, result and discussion. My result and discussion has 3 aspects. The first, disaster preparedness management in Cikole. The second, gender-based disaster preparedness and smartphones. And the third, innovation of Cikole village disaster preparedness management. Disaster preparedness management in Cikole, disaster management in Indonesia is handled by a special agency, namely the National Disaster Management Agency or BNPB. Disaster management at the local level will be anticipated by city or regency BNPB according to its administrative area. Cikole Village is under the administrative area of West Bandung Regency. So, Cikole Village disaster management is under the authority of the West Bandung Regency or BNPB or Regional Disaster Management Agency. Disaster management in Cikole Village is responsibility of the village head. The village government and district level BNPB need an organization that play a fast and effective role in anticipating the Lembang Fault disaster. If you rely on village organization and BNPB at the West Bandung Regency level, it will not be optimal because of the large and wide area of duties, functions, and coverage. The second, gender-based disaster preparedness and smartphone. The Cikole Village community is asset that can be empowered for disaster preparedness. The result of the survey show that the people of Cikole Village understand the potential for natural disaster in their home. As many as 71% men and 100% women know about disaster risk management program. As many as 64% men and 60% women know the phase of the West Java potential government program planning. This data indicated that the Cikole management community is capable and playing an important role in disaster management. The people of Cikole village are accustomed to using smartphone for disaster information initiated by BNPB. As many as 64% of men and 65% of women know the cell phone or smartphone application for disaster information. As many as 50% men and 59% women know that the government has issued applications that can be used as disaster monitoring, an interesting phenomena regarding gender roles in disaster in Cikole village is shown by women dominating it. The third, innovation of Cikole village disaster preparedness management. An innovation is needed for disaster preparedness management that help the role of the government. The phenomenon of Cikole village, which show that women are more dominant in disaster preparedness, provides an opportunity for these women to handle disaster preparedness action. The women in Cikole village are effective access family units in the village in an effort to practice disaster preparedness at the local village level. They have the opportunity to access information to the family unit, the practice to build the women's group in Cikole village as driving force in handling disaster preparedness. Can see the organizational framework is the only innovation about the Cikole village disaster management preparedness management. So can see the framework about have had secretary, treasurer, and anything. So to handle about the preparedness disaster preparedness management. The conclusion, according the result of the research above, the innovation constructed for Cikole village in handling disaster preparedness. To them are disaster preparedness community formulated from women's groups. The group was formed because of its dominant responsiveness to disaster that are likely to occur in Cikole village. In additional, women's group also more perceptive in using smartphone and digital media for disaster information. So thank you very much for your attention, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.